Franny Gerde here from the Sherburne Soil and Water Conservation District. This time of year, many SWCDs are holding their annual tree seedling sale, so we wanted to take this opportunity to give you a few tips and tricks for your newly purchased tree seedlings to help them have a successful establishment. So first I wanted to talk about TerraSorb. So if you have TerraSorb in your order, it is a root gel that is meant to prevent transplant shock while you're planting your trees. So when you're using TerraSorb, you'll need to start with a bucket of water. A 5-gallon bucket is great. And each packet of TerraSorb can treat up to 100 roots. So if you purchase 4 bundles, you only need 1 package of TerraSorb. So what you're going to do is dump the entire contents of the packet into the bucket. And then you will want to mix it around until it has kind of like a slushy consistency. So the gels in the TerraSorb will start to absorb that water and you'll start to notice it. And so once it reaches that consistency, then it's ready to dip your roots. And it's best to do this the day you are planting or at the moment before you're about to plant the tree in the ground. And so once that's all ready, I have my bag of trees ready to go. All you need to do is dip the root in the water, and then it's ready to be planted in the ground. And so when you're about to plant the tree, you want to make sure the hole is deep enough to accommodate all the roots so they stay straight. So you don't want it too shallow so the roots start to hook up or start to twist around the tree, because that can cause issues 5 to 10 years in the future, which at that point it's too late to fix anything. And you also want to make sure it's not buried too deep. You don't want to bury it so it looks like there's a telephone pole sticking out of the ground. You want just the start of the root flare to be showing at the surface of the ground. And so I'm going to dig my hole and plant the tree, and then we'll go over some care after your trees have been planted. All right, after the tree's been planted, you do want to make sure you pack in the soil. You don't have to tamp it down really hard because you don't want the ground to be too compacted. You want water to be able to infiltrate into the roots. So once it's nice and settled, if you've got flags, put your flag up right away so you don't lose track of it. So once you have your trees planted, you want to make sure to water them in really well. And you want to water them about 1 inch a week, which is about a half a gallon. So think of like a gallon milk jug. You can use that to water about 2 trees. If we haven't gotten any rain, if we do get enough rain, you don't need to worry about watering. And since we are in mostly sandy soil, you don't really have to worry about overwatering. So you want to water your tree. And if you are planning on mulching, you want to make sure the mulch is kind of focused around where the root zone is going to be. You don't need to mound up the mulch along the stem of the tree. That's called a mulch volcano, and that can introduce a lot of fungus and pests. So you want to make sure you keep the mulch away from the main stem of the tree and just keep it around the root zone. And anytime you're doing any digging projects, especially if there's areas where there could be underground utilities, you want to make sure to call Gopher 1 before doing any digging. And if you have any concerns about herbivory, so if you have a lot of deer on your property, the best way to prevent deer from browsing on your trees is physical barriers like tree shelters or fencing. There's also some pest deterrent sprays you can get at your local hardware or garden centers. You can bud cap evergreens like pines. Those are a few options you have for preventing deer or other herbivores from eating your trees. If you have any questions about your trees or tree care tips, feel free to contact the Sherburne Soil and Water Conservation District, and as always, happy planting!